Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the second episode of Broad Shoulders and Cheese Curds. I'm Ben Picorni, the Chicago side of the podcast, that man over there.
Hello, folks. How we doing today? I'm Riley Trapp. It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon.
Beautiful day.
Yeah. Ben, how you feeling today?
Great. I have never been better. The Bears are back, but we'll get to that later. And we would like to thank everyone that tuned in for the first episode and some great feedback and some great texts from people who really enjoyed it. So we'll keep doing it if people keep on listening. It might be small, but we're having fun with it, and people seem to be enjoying it as well. So we'll start out the show with Riley Trapp and the Green Bay Pack.
Thanks. But yeah, anyways, the Packers beat the Lions 31-24. If you guys do follow our Instagram at Broad Shoulders N, the letter N, Cheese Curds, you'll say that my mortal lock was the Packers, my You Betcha lock of the week was the Packers would score over 31.5 points, and I had the line, or they score 31 and I'm a kill myself.
And
they ended up scoring 31
You're still kicking,
points.
though.
We're still alive somehow. That was pretty tough. They scored 31, beat the Lions 31-24. Missed the mortal lock by a half point. You know, you just hate to see it. I was having a conversation with one of my friends, like, Ben, I don't know how, the over-under in this game was 55.5, and 55 points were scored. I don't know how Vegas does it.
It's a science, honestly.
They're so accurate in how they do it. It's insane how, close they are at every single game, you know? And, when you look at it, you're like, the Packers, if the Bears score 30 points in the Lions, the Packers will easily score, 40. But Vegas is just so good at it.
It's because Mitch is back.
Oh, that's why they know? Mm-hmm. Okay, well. Yeah, the Packers, good thing about them, they scored in every quarter. That was good to see, that the offense didn't disappear for a whole quarter at a time. That was nice. It was a fair... I'm not going to get too mad at this game and how close it was because the Packers always play poorly against the Lions. They always have to pull it out at the end, especially when they're playing.
Matt Stafford looked great.
He did look great, and I assume news hasn't come out, but he came out early midway through the fourth quarter. Kenny Clark landed on him, the highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history for some reason.
Not the highest paid defensive player.
No. Who's that? Khalil Mack? Yeah, okay. But, it looked... I assume by the way he was holding his torso, he may have broken a couple two-tree ribs. But, yeah.
We talked about it on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Stafford's whole career is possibly one of the most confusing in NFL history.
Yeah,
the fact that he is a top 10 quarterback, but has had not even a whiff of success. Like, Mitch Trubisky has had more success in terms of regular season records and playoff appearances.
Yeah, the only time Matt Stafford has gone to the playoffs, it was the wild card they hosted against Dallas, and that was the push-off game.
Yeah.
And then Dallas, since they won, went to Green Bay, and that was the Des drop.
That was a terrible call.
Yeah, no. Hey, according to the rule book,
that was a terrible call.
If according to the rule book at the time, that's the correct ruling. And
keep her moving.
What? I'm sorry. Was it a catch? Yeah, but according to the NFL rules, that was not a catch. Anyways, we'll keep her moving real quick once. A-Rod, Ben, is he the NFL MVP frontrunner at this point?
Yeah.
See, I still don't know. I'm a natural...
I was talking about it with one of my buddies earlier this morning, actually. Talking about a little Bears pack just for the fun of it. And he was saying, look at Mahomes and you look at Lamar, Roethlisberger in the conversation because of the season they have had. They have all the pieces there to be successful.
Yes.
Rodgers does have a good O-line.
Mm-hmm.
But...
And he has Devontae.
VDS and whatever, MVS, whatever, and Lazard would be fifth or fourth wide receivers on other teams.
Oh, my God. I think Lazard went undrafted. The Packers signed him to the practice squad. He was on the practice squad for 2 years.
The Bears have better receivers than they do.
Yeah. And
they somehow still seem to make it work.
Seeing Lazard is... who was on the practice squad for 2 years, meaning everyone had the chance to sign him for 2 years. No one did. And then you see him, and he is probably, I would assume, A-Rod's second target. MVS is more of a deep threat, although in the Bears game he did play very well.
MVS has had some games where he outscored Devontae Adams in terms of fantasy.
Yeah, but MVS is, and all my Packer fans know this, he is, if bipolar disorder was a
He can't catch up.
Yeah. He's just like, he'll have one game
He'll go
where-
up and get it sometimes and moss a dude, and then the next game you'll see him drop a basket catch.
Yeah, and that's what happens a lot. You'll see one game he'll have 150 yards on like 4 catches, and you're like, damn,
I feel like that's almost worse than the Bears receiving core. With the Bears, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Allen Robinson is going to catch pretty much every pass he goes up for. Darnell Mooney's just a speedster, and Anthony Miller's going to drop a catch in the end zone, but then, run a jet sweep for 50 yards.
Mm-hmm.
With the Packers, it's so bipolar because you got St. Brown in there too. You got Lazard and MVS, who are all well below average receivers, consistency wise.
Consistency wise, yeah, I think Lazard is. God, I really hope the Packers re-sign him. He's starting to become a fan favorite, and I see him as he needs just more time under his belt because he hasn't played a full. This will be his first.
Because he was out for what, five weeks?
He was, yeah, he had.
For a while,
he
MVS was the Packers receiver.
He was this, yeah, because Devontae got hurt, MVS got hurt. So for one game there, MVS was the number 1 receiver, and that was against the Falcons.
Yeah.
And we obviously beat the brakes off of them. That was big thanks to Robert Tonyan, who had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Was that Monday night or Sunday night
football? That was
football?
a Monday night football game.
Monday night football.
Yeah. The thing is that I see a lot about of, quote unquote, football experts is they say, oh, the Packers have never given Rodgers a first round talent. The Packers hate Rodgers or they don't want it, like all that jazz. But the thing is,
they just can't.
First of all, the defense has been so bad for so long. They're trying to rebuild this defense. And the thing with Aaron Rodgers, you don't need to give him a first round talent,
Well, I know you don't want to hear it, but they're going to have to rebuild the team pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. Once he leaves, and I would
2 years.
No,
I don't think he's going to play the last year of his contract with Green Bay.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I think he has 3 after this. I think he has
after this year he has 2. I think next season will be his last season with the Packers.
So before this year, he had 4 years left.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I thought he had 3 left.
No, he had 4 years left. So I think he'll play 3 years. And then, because that's when all the money is out of it. 'Cause see, it wouldn't make sense for the Packers to cut him after 1 or 2, after this year, after the next year, after the year after that, because that's a massive cap hit.
Bottom line, do you think that Aaron Rodgers' last snap of NFL football will be with the Green Bay Packers?
Do you want what I want
the
to
honest
happen?
answer. Because I don't think there's a chance. Because I think he's going to try and play into his 40s, and the Packers are not. He's not like Tom Brady, who has.
He relies on his athleticism a lot more than Tom Brady does with his arm talent.
And Rodgers hates standing in there and getting hit. And once those legs go, he's going to be in a bad spot.
If you ask me, I think the legs have pretty much already gone.
Yeah.
He did run for a touchdown, though. We had some flashes. But the thing is, in 3 years, the Packers are going to have to make a tremendous decision whether they want to keep Rodgers or pick up Love's 4th-year option, or 5th-year option, rather. And that's
I think the
call.
Packers are faced with a situation similar to the Bears with Mitch Trubisky in that you draft this guy, first round, you reach for him. In both cases, we can agree they both reached.
God damn,
and you say, well, do we go out and admit, hey, we fucked up and wasted a first-round talent, like first-round draft pick that could have really helped this team out, and we could have gotten someone else and done things differently? Or you do what Ryan Pace and the Bears have done, but won't do anymore as they didn't pick up Mitch's option, is that they're just going to say, you know what, this is our guy, we're going to stick with him until, his contract is up.
We're going to ride him out. Yeah, that, what I would want to happen, obviously, is they trade Love away, maybe get a
You're not going to
5th round pick out of him, maybe a 4th if we send a 5th with him.
Watch Jordan Love come to the Bears and win a Super Bowl.
No, I'm not even going to entertain that thought. But hey, I would rather have Jordan Love go to the Bears than Aaron Rodgers go to the Bears. But because when I'm looking, I obviously after they drafted him, all I did was watch his highlights. And he looks like a Patrick Mahomes type.
Yeah, but you got to think.
And there's no
the
one
toughest
like
opponents he faced in college was BYU, Colorado State,
Utah,
Air Force Academy. He's not playing top 25 team, maybe Boise, but other than that, he's not playing top. He was not playing any competition.
Yeah, is Texas Tech in the Big 12?
Big 12.
Big 12. Okay, so yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Deshaun from Clemson, Mitch from North Carolina, and you got Mahomes from Texas Tech in that draft. And I always think that it's good to see when you see players like Carson Wentz, Jordan Love, coming from smaller schools and saying,
but I mean, you look out
these guys are going to get drafted in the first round and make an impact.
Yeah.
But then you say,
Josh
well,
Allen
Carson
from
Wentz
Wyoming.
sucks now.
Yeah, he is not good at the football.
He's not good.
Yeah,
So it's a gamble you take. They show dominance, and Josh Allen is one of those rare cases, you brought him up, where he has been successful, very successful, coming from, not a huge school. He's in the same conference as Jordan Love, the Mountain West, but I just don't know if that's a real tell of talent, is your performance against opponents of that level. And I think that's something that Carson Wentz has struggled with and that Jordan Love could struggle with.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this would be a conversation for another day. Maybe just focus a whole podcast on him.
True.
But I'll move on. And I think this conversation started with, is Aaron Rodgers a front runner?
Yes.
So let's go back to that. In my skepticism, because I mean, we talked about, I remember before the Eagles game and the Lions game, this is a trap game. So I'm a naturally skeptical person when it comes to the Packers. They tend.
I mean, the Saints had a trap game with the Eagles, and they ended up losing it.
Bird up, go Eagles.
Jalen Hurts coming.
I mean, that's first of all, the Eagles beating the Saints. That's huge for the Packers because now the Saints have to
they
play.
Have to lose twice for you guys to get the 1 seed, right?
No, right now, as it stands right now, the Packers have the 1 seed. So, and the Saints still have to play the Chiefs, which I think we can mark that up as a loss. And I
don't know. The Chiefs look terrible against the Dolphins. And we'll get to Mahomes later.
We'll get to Mahomes, yeah. But, I don't know. We'll see. Because, first of all, the Dolphins are super...
Dolphins are the worst.
They're up and down.
8-5 team, whatever they are, in the league.
I know. For, a 3-game stretch, they'll look like a playoff team, and then they'll look like a team that's rebuilding.
Because you break down the Dolphins roster, they really don't have anyone that's a standout
It's
player.
a bunch of young guys.
Yeah.
Because they're in the middle of a rebuild.
This season for the Dolphins, to me, is giving me flashbacks to the 2018 Bears season. When it's Mitch in his first full year season as starter, Khalil's on the team, Eddie Jackson, Roquan is his first year on the team. Eddie Jackson's developed, Kyle Fuller's developed. And that was kind of like, okay, well, crap, these guys are playing out of their minds. And then, as you know, last year go 8-8. So I would like to say it's a fluke this year from the Dolphins because I don't really see the pieces of an amazing team. But who knows? Maybe they're just doing something right.
Yeah. So I mean, anyways, going back. So I would assume, I'm not even going to say it. If the Chiefs beat the Saints, the Packers, their next 3 games, they play on Saturday. They have the Panthers, they have the Tennessee Titans and Tractor Cito Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And then they play the Bears. So, honestly, I see 1 loss there to the Titans. But the thing is...
If you play the backups against the Bears, though.
But I wouldn't see them playing the backups unless the 1 seed's locked up.
Or you don't have it.
So, if they lose...
If they lose to the Titans, the Saints win both their games. The Saints are the 1 seed.
So if the Saints lose to the Chiefs, but then win their last 2 games, and the Packers lose to the Panthers and the Titans...
Christian McCaffrey expected not to play, too, for the Panthers.
Really? Because I saw he was expected to play.
Matt Rule said about an hour ago that he doesn't expect him to play Saturday.
Okay, that's a win. But then again, because they played last year, and
Mike
I don't
Davis has been tearing it up for the Panthers, so you never know.
Last year, the defense was night and day compared to what it is today.
Yeah.
They played Carolina at Lambeau during a snowstorm, but I don't remember if they had CMC then.
They had Cam then, too.
No, they had, whatever their name is, Allen. What's their guy's name? Their quarterback?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, oh, God. Oh, it's going to bug me now. What's his name? Let me... So last year the Packers beat the Panthers 24-16, and Kyle Allen, was the starting pass. And
Oh yeah, he's on the Redskins now.
Yeah.
Or the football team.
yeah, so McCaffrey did play. He had 20 rushes.
My apologies for saying the Redskins. I meant football team.
I mean, no one cares. McCaffrey had 20 rushes for 108 yards. Allen played well. He was 28 of 43 for 307 with a touchdown and a pick. So if this is the close score with McCaffrey, I think without McCaffrey would be a lot easier to play against. So, and McCaffrey also had 6 receptions for 33 yards. So you forget how good he is in the pass game. But I mean, we'll save the full.
We'll save that for later.
For Saturday.
Should we move on to the Bears?
I'll let you let you riff here.
Oh baby, the Bears are so back. It is unbelievable. Mitch Trubisky, revenge tour, stop number 3, was like winning the lotto. Mitch came out, silenced the haters, 24 for 33. 267 yards and 3 touchdowns. My you betcha locks for the Bears win without a doubt. And I mean, it was a steamrolling of the Houston Texans. And I also guaranteed 250 yards from Mitch, at least 267. His passer rating was, I think, 121 in that game.
I thought it was 112.
112, yeah. But Mitch looked spectacular. Chuck Pagano finally figured out how to scheme on defense, and it could be because the Texans were playing with high school wide receivers.
Yes.
But still, you got Deshaun in there, and the fact that you holding the 7 points is incredible. And everyone's saying the Texans sucked; they were banged up, which they were.
They were,
but you're supposed to beat the crap out of a team like that.
Yeah, and they did.
And they did. They did what they were supposed to do. Everyone's like, "Well, we beat the crap out of the Texans." Yeah. That's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to go out against a team like that.
What do you want it to be, a close game?
Yeah, you're supposed to stomp him into the frozen grounds of Soldier Field.
Frozen grounds.
And they looked great. 20% chance to make the playoffs now for the Bears.
Oh, God.
Butter me up with all the hope. We're riding the Trubisky train into the sunset.
Yeah, I'm doing my the ESPN playoff machine, and by my predictions, I have Green Bay at first, at 12-4, New Orleans in second, 12-4, the Rams third, 12-4, Philly at fourth at 7-8-1, Tampa the 5th seed, 11-5, Seattle the 6th at 11-5,
and the Chicago
Football Bears at 8-8 will travel to New Orleans to play the Saints.
It's a win.
And then if they win, they travel to DeLambeau.
I think that the Bears' last game against the Saints went to overtime. Crazy comeback.
That was in Soldier, though.
It was at Soldier, but it was with Nick Foles. And like I've said before, I think Nick is a better quarterback than Mitch. I think Foles, all-around quarterback,
yes, I would
Foles
agree.
is better than Mitch.
Yeah.
But something that the Bears lacked with having Foles in at quarterback is the mobility. And not just the fact that, Mitch can run. It's the fact that teams are now having to drop a guy out of coverage to bring more pressure on Mitch because they know that rushing 4 against a 6-man Bears front, if Jimmy's blocking or if Cole Kmet is blocking, isn't enough because Mitch will run. Mitch will run out of that any day of the week. And that wasn't an issue with Foles. So teams are now having to scheme for a mobile quarterback instead of Foles, who they know couldn't walk across the street without getting, popping out his hip or something. Because he's just old and he's slow. So I am all in. We go up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis this weekend, and we'll talk more about our previews and predictions on our episode on Saturday. But
yeah,
very excited. Happy for Mitch. Very happy for Mitch. Very pissed off though that there are all the Bears haters and Trubisky haters from the city of Chicago. Not talking about from Green Bay who hates the Bears or people from anywhere that hates the Bears. I'm talking about Chicago people who hate the Bears and hate Mitch are in a tough spot right now.
Mm-hmm. He played better than Deshaun.
That's what I'm saying.
And Mahomes this week.
Mitch has a better record than Deshaun Watson in his career, and he played better than both those guys today.
Hey,
so
I didn't see Trubisky throwing 3 interceptions.
No, and the thing that a lot of people are realizing now is that the Bears are going to try to win. They're going to try and win out. They're not tanking. Mm-hmm. They're playing to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm doing this here playoff predictor, And if the Bears win week 15, week 16, and they lose against the Packers in week 17, in week 17, they need the Rams to beat the Cardinals, and in week 15, or they just need the Cardinals to lose twice.
We need to win the same amount of games that the Cardinals lose. If the Cardinals
Yes.
lose twice, we need to win twice. If the Cardinals,
Cardinals' remaining schedule is Eagles.
unless the Cardinals lose out, we need one win.
Yeah, Cardinals' remaining schedule is Eagles, Niners, Rams. I could see them losing 2 of those games.
I could see them losing 2 of those games as well. I mean, the Niners have been sneakily winning some games, even with Nick Mullins in at quarterback.
Yeah.
And they haven't looked awful. And I think that the Rams, the only thing I'm worried about them facing the Rams is that the Rams are going to sit Goff, they're going to sit Henderson, they're going to sit Donald.
Yeah, because they pretty much have...
Because the Rams, they're in the playoffs, and they have nothing to play for in terms of seeding. They're going to have home field.
Yeah, so if the Rams do what I predict them to do, which is beat the Jets next week, beat the Seahawks week 16, they would rest their starters.
Do the Rams have the division locked up?
If they do what I think they'll do week 15, week 16, yes. So I assume they would rest their starters, have Arizona play against the backups, and then
that's this tough spot. But like we talked about the Eagles going down to NOLA.
Yeah,
and winning on the road. Who knows?
No,
what
it was
in Philly. Yeah. But who knows what the Eagles are capable of right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Carson Wentz might be on just suicide watch.
No, I think it's Jalen Hurts for the Eagles the rest of the
Jalen
season
Hurts.
and in the future for that franchise. But back to the Bears. I think that people are in a tough spot right now because they realize that no one's going to get fired.
Yeah,
you can't fire Matt Nagy.
You can't fire him after a playoff berth. That's what.
Well,
sucks.
You can't fire him even if we go 8-8. Even if we go 9-7 and don't make the playoffs. Like are you 500 season or one above 500 season, you don't fire your coach. Matt Nagy has a winning record as a head coach.
That's just sounds ridiculous to say out loud.
He went 12-4, 8-8, and he's now 6-7. And people, you cannot fire a coach that has won more games than he's lost.
Yeah, he can't.
Unless it's like a Mike McCarthy situation where you just start declining so badly, but that's not what the case is for the Bears. It's not like they're at the top and then just crap themselves. They've just always been there.
Yeah.
Close enough, but just hanging on barely. So I'm excited. That means the Bears play, another week of meaningful football. And, I'm all in on it. So I guess that'll do it for the Bears coverage, and we'll move on now. Big Ten football.
Big Ten football, yeah.
Yeah, Ohio State Northwestern Big Ten title game coming up this Saturday.
Love it.
Northwestern's second appearance in the past, what would that be, 3 years?
Yeah, they were in there 2 years ago.
So good for the Wildcats, good for Chicago's Big Ten team. I do think the Buckeyes will beat the brakes off them, though.
I feel like they will need to call the National Guard.
I think it's going to be a rough one.
I think it's going to be an Arizona State-Arizona game.
Yeah.
Maybe not to the extreme, but it's going to be.
I don't see Northwestern winning that game. The spread's 20.5. Maybe they cover, but I would
assume I would think, especially like at the end of the game,
Yeah, I mean, because Ohio State, if they're in the driver's seat in that game, they got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, they're going to take.
They got a playoff game against the Irish coming up.
They're going to take Justin Fields out. They're going to take their starters out.
Yeah,
and I feel like we might see Northwestern with a backdoor cover. So
maybe.
Yeah. Moving on.
Other Big Ten.
Oh, this has me so excited.
Yeah.
Illinois fires Lovey. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna try and speak into existence here.
Yeah.
Lovey Smith to Green Bay as a D coordinator. Now hear me out. You saw what he's gonna be. The Bears fired him. Okay. He took him to the Super
Buccaneers.
Bowl. He took him to the Super Bowl, right?
He did. So did sexy Rexy Grossman.
He's gonna want revenge on them Bears. So he's gonna come here. The Bears.
He had his chance when he was in Tampa Bay, and that didn't go so well.
We're doing it in the division, just like when DeFavre went to the Vikings.
Okay.
The Packers are gonna fire Mike Pettin. I hope so after this year, unless by some grace of God we win the Super Bowl. Even then, I would hope they fire Mike Pettin. Lovie Smith, they give him an interview. He says, the only thing I want to do is beat the Bears, and I want to beat them badly. So I think then Gutekunst is going to be like, that's the mentality we need. So we sign Lovey, and he brings his man blitz scheme to Green Bay. And what does he run, a 4-3? 3-4? 4-3? That's even better considering the Packers don't have any middle linebackers. They also don't have any defensive tackles. But move Rashawn to the 4-3 end, which I've been wanting them to do forever. We're looking good. I'm just saying, people are feeling.
Lovie Smith was the last Bears head coach to have a winning career record. Trestman and John Fox both had losing record. John Fox was 14-34.
Nagy has to have a winning record.
25-19 as a head coach.
Okay, that's what I thought. How about that?
Lovie was also the last coach of the year for the Bears. 2005 when we went to the Super Bowl.
And Nagy in 2018.
Yep.
I forget how good of a coach he was in 2018. That's crazy. And then the runner-up was Anthony Lynn. And you look at those two guys now.
Yeah.
And oh boy, those two might.
Well,
get
I think
fired.
Nagy's far better off than Lynn.
Oh God. Well, I mean, Lynn has the excuse of having a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
But yeah. Moving on now to
U of I and Wisconsin football.
Oh yeah, meaningless games to finish out the year.
For Wisconsin fans, obviously this game means nothing. I believe we're 2-4. I think
2-3.
Okay, so if we win this game, we get a bowl game.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
We're seeing bowl games getting canceled and
That's
teams
the thing,
backing out all over the place.
I wouldn't be surprised. Badger fans know what it is if we go to the Pinstripe Bowl against like Miami again.
Yeah.
We go to the Pinstripe Bowl, it feels like every year. But it's for all my Badger fans, it's Axe Week. We got Minnesota at Camp Randall. And dear God, if we lose this game, how you tell a Badger season is really bad is if we lose to Minnesota. Because Minnesota is the little brother of Wisconsin. Minnesota fans, whether you like it or not, it's true. PJ Fleck in his rowing the boat. Rowing the boat doesn't work well on a football field. I'll be real. You can't row a boat on solid ground. So I think Wisconsin wins by 100. Graham Mertz is going to throw for 600 yards.
Clip this, please.
I can't wait till they lose.
Till Wisconsin loses. Illinois plays a meaningless game in Happy Valley against the Penn State Nittany Lions, who have also been quietly terrible this year.
They are very bad.
If Penn State was this bad 2 years ago, it would have been national news.
Yeah.
It started with that loss at Indiana, and everyone's like, oh, well, Indiana just upset them. Indiana's not that good. Now Indiana's a one-loss team ranked.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy crap, Penn State is just bad.
Yeah. I mean, imagine like 2 years ago hearing, oh yeah, Indiana is a ranked team with one loss. You're like, what is this, week 3?
And you're going to tell me their only loss was a 7-point loss to the Buckeyes.
That's wow. I mean, it feels like the Big Ten East just
legends
runs the show.
The legends and what do they used to call the Big Ten, the conference names? The weird the legends and the leaders.
Yeah, that stuff. Okay.
But we'll keep her moving from that. Mizzou beats Illinois in the bragging rights game, and I talked about Brad Underwood on Saturday's pod about how he had been doing good things, and then they go down to Columbia, Missouri, and Mizzou dominated them.
Yeah, Mizzou's now ranked 16th in the country.
Mizzou dominated that game. Illinois, it was a 3-point loss. Mizzou was in the driver's seat for probably 38 of that 38 minutes of that 40-minute game.
Oh, yeah. Mizzou looked good.
They looked incredible. Illinois was just fouling like crazy. And
Smith brothers look good. Well, they're not
this seems to be a trend with the Illini every year. The past, at least last season more so than 2 years ago in would have been the 2018 game against Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Is last year Illinois had this hype around them like they did this year. Mm-hmm. They weren't necessarily ranked as high, and they hadn't beaten Duke last year and had some big wins leading up to the Mizzou game. But they were certainly, in the conversation of a tournament team and a force in the Big Ten. And Mizzou seems to be their bogey team. They just come up against them, and no matter what situation it is, Mizzou will outplay them. And they were just outplayed by the Tigers.
Yeah, Mizzou's a good basketball team. Who'd they beat? They beat ranked
Oregon.
I was going to say Miami, but yeah, they beat ranked Oregon. They're a good team. I don't know their schedule off the top of my head, but
I think if you're Illinois, that's a game you have to win, though.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to.
Illinois is ranked 13th now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any ranked SEC basketball teams. I don't think Alabama's ranked anymore.
Kentucky's fallen off.
LSU, I know LSU's ranked.
But yeah, it's just an interesting situation right now. College basketball, this is probably the weirdest season I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Kentucky's unranked, having Notre Dame blow them out.
Yeah, Mizzou, Friday, they're going up against Prairie View.
Tennessee's still a good team in the
Tennessee,
SEC, but
yeah,
other
they're
than
10th.
that, it's just a weird year for college basketball.
LSU is not ranked. I
Okay.
thought they were, but I am mistaken. Tennessee is ranked. I'm taking a gander at Mizzou's schedule right now, and it looks like at the moment Tennessee is the other ranked SEC team.
Wow. So we got two more college basketball items to touch over.
Yes.
Loyola won this past weekend against UIC. It was a close game.
Ramblers.
I don't know if the Ramblers are at the same level they were 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
When we had Custer. And,
Yeah.
Oh.
But good for Loyola. They'll take on the Badgers tonight.
Yes,
7 p.m.
My Rambler fans, Krutwig looked good. A good way to tell how the game went is just look at Krutwig's facial expressions, because he's such a big oaf.
Yeah.
You know? He looks like...
Well, Wisconsin has a tough record against Catholic universities this year, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, Wisconsin. I mean, it is... I would assume it's in Wisconsin, especially if they're playing Loyola. I don't think the Badgers would go to Loyola.
No.
But Mississippi State did go to... I think they went. I don't remember off the top of my head. But, yeah, Ramblers, Badgers.
DePaul will kick off the season this Friday against Xavier. Should be a good test for DePaul. Last season disappointing.
Yes.
Hopefully, in his second stint with the team, Dave Lato will figure it out down at Wintrust Arena. But that'll cover the college sports and the NFL. And now, big news this morning for you, Mr. Trapp.
Oh my God, Bucks fans! It's time to rejoice. We're going to be a contender for the next 5 years. Oh my God! Let me tell you something, Ben. I was in the middle of my math class Zoom. All right, and I'm a responsible student. I don't go on my phone during class. But, however, I got a notification. I got the...
What did that notification say?
It was... Well, I heard, I'm on my computer doing the math. We had a maze thing to do, like where we would solve one problem, go to the next.
Sounds thrilling.
Oh, it was so fun. But I got the da-na-na notification. I'm like, oh, ESPN. Like, maybe it's like a preview of some game or Rogers said something. Then I look, and Giannis signs the extension. And let me tell you something. When I saw that, it was an electric factory. I was so happy because now I know that that trading Drew Holiday is worth it now. I don't care, if we even get one season out of him.
Imagine if you would have got Boban, too.
Oh, God. But now we don't need those 3 first-round picks because they're going to be late first-round picks anyways. They'll be high 20s. I mean, if we look at our last first-round picks, Dante DiVincenzo and DJ Wilson.
National champion DiVincenzo.
Yeah, I mean, but DiVincenzo and DJ Wilson, I wouldn't say are threats on the basketball court.
No, I would agree.
So, I mean, honestly, in the NBA, if you're not picking top 15...
You're picking nothing.
You're not getting a
You're
starter.
picking an 8th man off the bench.
Yeah. So I'm happy with it now. If they didn't re-sign him, I would have hated the Holiday trade because I would have assumed it would tank those next couple of years. But, I'm happy.
You're back.
The Bucks are back. We never left, actually. Bucks never left. Can't wait to go to the playoffs and lose in the second round again.
Bucks and 6.
Get Bucks and 6 forever and always. Brandon Jennings, we remember you. He created the Bucks.
At least you have something to be excited about now for basketball season rolling.
I mean, until baseball season comes around and when the Packers evidently lose in the NFC Championship game like they always do.
Or in the second round of the Bears.
Yeah, okay, well. Yeah, I mean, it's a good day.
Should we move on to...
Wisconsin sports fans can rejoice. I mean, it's been a great week. Packers won. Bucks re-signed Giannis.
I was talking to my buddy. You now have 3... MVP caliber players leading each of the major Wisconsin sports teams. You got Yelich for the Brewers.
I mean,
you got Rogers
Yelich
for the Packers.
last year, Jesus Christ,
He was brutal. He was brutal.
That was really bad. For like almost half of the year, he couldn't get his batting average above 200.
Yeah, but you got 3
That was an asterisk
MVP
year.
caliber players.
Yes. I wouldn't be
in the
surprised
state of Wisconsin
if we have an MVP sweep this year.
Maybe.
If DeRogers wins the MVP.
If the Brewers can figure it out.
Oh, baby.
If Yelich can
well,
figure it
I would assume...
Because, yes, you made the playoffs, but the thing you forget about the
Very
Brewers...
bad.
You had a losing record.
Ben, we were a bad baseball team last year.
You had a losing. If this was a normal season, you guys would have been in 4th place in the division.
I think we were in 4th place in the division.
Because we went, the Cardinals went, the Reds went, and yeah.
The first
You were 4th place in the division with a losing record, and you made the playoffs.
First division ever to have 4 people go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the Brewers had a losing record. That just shows you how bad the MLB was all year. That the fact that the Brewers can make it in the playoffs.
Well, I think it shows you how good the NL Central is.
Yeah, in the Brewers game, their clincher came down to the wire because they ended up losing to the Giants. They beat the Giants.
You had to wait for.
We had to wait for the Giants. That's right.
Giants, yeah.
Because we beat the Giants 2 out of 3 games earlier in the year, and we had to wait for, I want to say, the Marlins to beat the Giants.
Yeah,
I think
the
it was.
Marlins got in. But yeah, so should we move on to
real quick?
Yeah. A little shorter episode today.
Yeah. But,
Fish fry.
let me say this real quick.
Oh yeah.
The NL Central first division to ever have 4 teams go to the playoffs, and the first division to have all 4 teams not win a playoff series. Did the Cubs win a game? I don't remember.
No, 2-0 sweep.
Yeah,
Brewers lost
Brewers got swept,
and like 4-2.
I think the Cardinals may have got swept against the Braves.
It was bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if
I think the NL Central was beat up after that regular season.
Yeah,
but
especially the Cardinals going down to the Potawatomi and Milwaukee.
I mean, they didn't play for 15. They missed like 15 games.
It's the Cardinals' fault that Lorenzo Cain opted out because he would have played, but since the Cardinals got to COVID because they went to the Potawatomi, Lorenzo Cain opted out, and then everything went to crap.
I love talking about baseball season now.
Yeah,
and I find it funny because like we have a whole semester of school to go through, and then we get summer baseball season. That's why baseball is such a weird sport. Like, I started a Cubs season in high school, sitting in math class, and finished it at college watching it. That's the weird thing about baseball season is the wait seems longer because it's over the winter period. It's the one sport that doesn't do anything late into November, December. NHL's firing up soon, though. We forgot to touch on the Hawks, so I'll mention that briefly. They'll be firing up the season soon. NBA regular season starts soon as well.
Oh, baby. I'm so ready.
I'm excited for a lot of seasons starting later and starting at the same time. So it is more fun, and you'll get to see basketball and hockey go a little longer and spill over into May, June, July.
Yeah, the thing that I want to touch on real quick is so obviously basketball season got pushed back. Basketball season usually starts around the October, November, around there. Yeah. So my question is this just going to be where normal basketball starts now from here on out?
I don't know, because that's the thing with COVID is football's maintained a schedule. Baseball has such a long off season, and it's over the winter that they can finish a little later into the year and say, well, we're just going to...
Yeah, but basketball, they play like 8 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Which is rough.
Same with NHL.
Yeah.
And NHL, we can agree, is the toughest professional sport to play.
Oh, God, yeah.
And they're...
Physically,
they finished their season in early September. The Blackhawks were done by late August. I remember watching them exit the playoffs.
That was a tough one.
Yeah, but that's the interesting thing about it. So, should we move on to Friday Night Fish Fry?
Oh, let's.
So let's roast a player, a group of people, or a team, or... general manager, any of the above. I will actually add one like I did last week. So my first is Mitch Trubisky haters.
Oh, boy.
You guys are freaking shaking right now. Mitch sucks. Mitch is terrible. He sucks at quarterback. The Bears have a quarterback with a winning record. You guys should be kissing the ground that he walks on right now. Mitch, how long have they waited for a winning record quarterback? Mitch wins games.
A year after they went to the playoffs in 2018?
No, I'm saying... over his career with the Bears, Mitch has a winning record.
Yeah, there you go.
We've been waiting for that. Sure, he's not Pat Mahomes, but Mitch Trubisky haters are crapping their pants right now saying, oh, shit, if Mitch takes us to the playoffs, God forbid.
You going to re-sign him?
I don't think they should.
Okay.
But I still love Mitch, and I think he's a great guy, and he's the one who made me love Bears football again.
Yeah.
But my second one will be... Major League Baseball, again, even though Rob Manfred was my fish fry last week, because recently, after shutting down minor league baseball and effectively killing 13 franchises, they announced that they're going to start a college summer league themselves. And college summer league ball, Riley here knows it's something that I'm very interested in, actually have a opportunity to be a part of potentially this summer, hopefully.
God willing.
But it's a very, it's the players are unpaid. They're staying with host families, and they're just playing to better themselves and get some experience of being a guy on the road, playing with teammates from across the country, across the world. And it's small towns across, Quincy, Illinois, Normal, Illinois, Springfield, Illinois, Wisconsin Rapids. You have these small towns that, they have this little college summer league team, and that's the pride of their town. So the commercialization of baseball is just getting out of hand right now for me personally, and that's something that I think the MLB really needs to take a step back and say, why are we doing this? Because there's no problem with the minor league system. There's no problem with college summer league ball. It's solely that the MLB wants to get their hands into more markets and get more money.
Yeah. So, because you look at a team, or let's just say, Quincy, Illinois.
Yeah.
You look at that kind of team, that's something huge for the city, because I know that's been around for a while, I think.
They've been around since the team has existed since the 90s, and they're part of the Prospect League, which is, we got teams in DuPage, up in Lisle, Illinois. We got a team in Normal, Springfield, Illinois, Danville, Illinois. Those are small cities that they're not near a professional franchise.
Yeah.
A lot of those places down there are Cardinals fans or Cubs fans. You get a mix. Yeah. So for these small towns like Quincy, 40,000 people, that is their team. Like the Quincy Gems for them, the Normal Corn Belters in Illinois, the Danville Dans in Danville, Illinois. Those are teams that belong to that city and that have been there since the founding of these leagues and have been there for, 25, 30 years in some cases. And there's been no issue. You get MLB talent still coming out of these leagues every year. And I don't see a need to change that other than what you said. It's about the money.
Yeah, so is MLB starting their own, or are they just taking control?
MLB's they're going to start their own prospect league.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's not good for people in Quincy, Illinois.
Yeah, for small town teams,
that's not good.
Who, have this franchise that is the pride of the city for some of these people, and that it kills an opportunity for them. But we'll move on to your fish fry.
I got Lamar Jackson, who decided to leave the game in the fourth quarter because he had to drop one. And I don't really understand.
He came back out, and he was playing lighter after that because they eventually came back.
Yeah, Trace McSorley throw it on a dime, like I ain't even trying. Trace McSorley, he took over. I think he played.
That has to be the weirdest reason for a backup quarterback to come into the game.
Yeah.
Hey, Trace, you're going to play one possession. Lamar's got to go drop one.
Yeah, I can't imagine John Harbaugh. Hey, Trace, get your helmet on. And Trace is looking on the field. Wait, is Lamar down? Is he hurt? No, he ran to the locker room.
No, he's wiping his butt right now.
Yeah, so I don't understand. I mean, I guess all's well that he who laughs last laughs best. They won the game.
Yeah.
Covered too.
Covered with that safety.
-3 with the safety. A lot of people were happy about that. And the thing is, I don't understand how, if you love the game of football, you're a professional quarterback, you're just nah, I got to leave. Hold on, let me just drop one real quick. But I'm not going to, human body's human body.
Yeah.
I'm not going to blame him too much. But
it's funny.
It's very funny.
That's you can't not call a guy out for that. Meat raffle time?
Real quick, I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw, but RG3 tweeted out a photo, the DK Metcalf chasing down Buda Baker. And Buda Baker, his, the text on him was Browns win. And the thing behind him, DK Metcalf, was Lamar coming back from pooping.
He was playing lighter.
Yeah, he was lighter on his toes.
Yeah. Meat raffle, will let you start with meat raffle.
Meat raffle, I got DeRogers. Stepped in front. He's the MVP front runner after Mahomes decided to throw 3 interceptions and get sacked for 30 yards.
He looked bad.
Yeah, Rodgers, 290 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, ran for 1.
There you go.
All right, Packer fans, the one to Devontae was outstanding work by Devontae. He caught it, I want to say, about the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
And just took off and ran for it. The one to MVS was beautiful as well. Back shoulder throw, pinpoint accuracy. I'd like to see Mahomes throw that. He probably could. Hey,
he did win the Super Bowl last year.
Allegedly. It's DeRogers,
Yeah.
If he played, I would assume, if he closes out the year.
I think you have to be, I didn't say this earlier, I think you guys have to get the 1 seed for Rodgers to win MVP.
Yeah, because the Chiefs have, if we're being honest, I've pretty much locked up the 1 seed.
Yeah. With the Steelers, though.
Steelers lost twice.
I know.
But they lost twice. They're trending down.
If they win out.
If it's a stock, if we're treating this like the stock market, they're trending down.
Definitely.
Chiefs are trending up. But Yeah, so if Rodgers, if he can average, I don't know, like 280 passing yards,
Yeah.
3 touchdowns, no interceptions, on like a 65% completion percentage,
Yeah.
I think you almost have to give it to him.
Fair.
Unless Mahomes throws for like 450 yards a game,
Which isn't
5
impossible.
touchdowns. Very
For Pat
possible for him.
Mahomes, superhuman.
But yeah, but I think the fact that he threw 3 interceptions, because he had 2, if he didn't, and he didn't throw any interceptions, and he has 2 interceptions on the year, I feel like you have to give it to him. But
So
to Rodgers, that's mine.
yeah, I'll do my meat raffle. Mitchie Biscuits, and I will also add, even though he's not my personal winner. Matt Nagy is a big winner this week because now he definitely keeps his job.
Saved his job.
Because you can't fire a coach with a winning record.
Unless they lose out. And
Unless,
then they can fire him.
the only time you can fire a coach with a losing record is if they've had, 2 seasons in a row where they're, 6-10, 5-11. But Matt Nagy is either, if we get 2 wins here, he's gone 12-4, 8-8, 8-8.
Mm-hmm. Quick question. If Nagy does get fired, would you like to see Lovey come back?
No.
That was a quick no.
No. Because I don't think Lovey...
Think about how good the defense
But think that Lovey sucked at the University of Illinois and couldn't get them to win. And now you
They're
expect
not
him to...
professional athletes, though.
But you expect him to come to the Chicago Bears
fair.
with the talent that we have. Objectively, the talent that we have at the receiving core and on the defense, I don't want Lovey Smith's hands all over that.
Would you want him to
it.
come back and be the D coordinator?
I would be okay with that.
That defense would
I
be
think Chuck
unreal.
Pagano has been terrible. I was hoping that Vic Fangio would be fired in Denver and come back to Chicago.
That's what I thought was going to
But
happen.
unfortunately not. We'll move on. Last segment, a little shorter episode today for y'all. The You Betcha Lock of the Week. I'm 1-0 with my Bears lock. Last week, Trap 0-1, saying that the Packers would, without a doubt, score over 31.5 points, ended up scoring 31. I'll start with my lock of the week. ACC championship game, Fighting Irish versus Clemson. There's no way Notre Dame wins that game.
Ian Book's not that good. I want everyone to
I
realize
think he's
that.
good.
He's not that good.
You're okay. Well,
I've been watching me some Notre Dame football for a long time. I've watched Ian Book for 3 years now.
Could definitely be a quarterback in the NFL.
He could be a quarterback, but he'd be a Drew Lock quarterback where he's not good.
Okay.
Drew Lock is not good. Ian Book is not good.
We'll talk about that later. But Clemson definitely beats the Irish. They took them to
they will.
overtime at Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame, yeah.
With a backup quarterback. And who knows what they're going to do in a neutral site with Trevor Lawrence back in the starting lineup. I could see a 3-touchdown win for the Tigers, but I'll just outright, keep it a little safer. Say that Clemson money line without a doubt beats Notre Dame on Saturday.
Yeah, and my You Betcha Lock of the Week. Call me, I need to get in the
You need a
column.
win.
So I'm going to take...
This is soft. This is
okay,
very soft.
Well, listen, the easiest win I could... or the easiest game that I could predict, maybe. I don't know what it is, but I think it might be minus 4,000.
It's minus 3,500.
Tennessee outright against Appalachian State.
We're talking basketball, folks.
We are
Not
talking basketball.
football. Not Appalachian State, who's ranked in football, and Tennessee, who's
Bad.
below 500.
We're talking about
the
Volunteers basketball. The thing that does scare me
This is such a cop-out.
This is the thing.
This is such a cop-out.
Is that Tennessee is only 2-0. They've only played 2
They're
games.
minus 3,500.
Listen, okay, what do you expect me to do? I lost
That
by
is
a
so
half point.
soft.
Last week, I lost by a half point, okay? I need to get in this win column.
I took an underdog last week and then ended up blowing
That's
out
true,
the team they
but,
played. And you're here picking a team that's minus 3,500? That's like saying the sun's going to rise in the morning.
I mean, but what do you want a guy to do? I need to get back in this win column.
That's just soft.
Okay, you know
We'll
what?
give- no, we'll give it to you.
No, I'm picking a new one.
Thank you.
Hold on. Let me find something.
There's some other games to...
I know, there's a bunch of
What
games.
about Wisconsin against Loyola?
But I think they're favored by 1 billion points. So that might be
It's
a cop-out.
minus 480. That's more respectable. It's
Change
under
it.
It's under 1,000.
Change it.
So you're going Wisconsin over
Wisconsin
Loyola?
outright.
Finally.
Wisconsin outright.
Well, at least that's 10
they're
times.
so going to lose. Oh, my God. I don't care. Wisconsin outright.
You can't... We're going to set... right now, we're going to set a new rule.
Nothing over minus
Nothing
1,000.
over minus 1,000.
No, minus 800.
800.
That's
Nothing
fair.
over minus 800. That's a fair agreement.
Call me a weak cop-out for doing that, but I need it. When we go on Saturday...
That was so soft.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Listen, when you lose by a half
Clem's
point,
is minus 380. I was just checking to make sure I was well within the range.
when you lose by a half point, it does something to you, and you're just like, God, I just need anything.
I'm on top of the world. I picked an underdog, and they blew out the team that they were playing against. So.
There you go.
With that, with Mr. Trap's cop-out lock of the week.
Okay, I changed it to Wisconsin. All right, we're gonna sit here and deliberate, or are we gonna cheer on them Badgers? All right,
we'll cheer on the Badgers. With that, we will wrap up episode number 2 of Broad Shoulders and Cheese Curds. Thank you guys for tuning in. We honestly really appreciate the support.
Yes.
However small it is, it's honestly fun to know that there's people out there who take the time to listen and enjoy our.
Yeah, they take the time out of their busy schedule.
Enjoy our crazy conversations at some points. But with that, we'll wrap up the second episode. I'm Ben Picorni.
I'm Riley Trapp, folks. It's been a great one.
Thank you.
We'll see you Saturday.